Hello and welcome to Paw Prints on the Mountain, brought to you by the Humane Society of the White Mountains. I'm your host, Mike Bosely. Here in just a couple moments, we'll be joined by Deena and Terry, and we have all kinds of fun to talk about, such as happy tales. But before we get into that, it's time to go into Mike's Pet Peeves. Now, Mike's Pet Peeves is merely my opinion, not the opinion of the board, the Humane Society, or anybody else important. It's just me talking to you. Today, we're going to discuss conspiracy theories. Most of them are outrageously just out there. I can even get on board with one or two of them, but most of them are just way far out there. There's a guy that comes into my shop. He likes to wrap his money in aluminum foil because he tells me that the government flies over and scans his house for money. Sure, if you work for the cartel, maybe that's what they're doing. But generally speaking, no, they're not wasting time on some guy that lives between Snowflake and Concho, Arizona, to see if you have money. Another one is that we didn't go to the moon, and to prove it, we haven't been back. Well, I don't know if you noticed, but it takes a lot of money to get to the moon just to put whatever flag is cool this year, do a backflip, and come back home. That's just not cost effective for us. The one I really can't get is chemtrails, okay? So there's these pictures all over Facebook, and it's got this plane with some barrels in the back and little jets on the wings, and they're spreading chemicals. They may have at some point in the time, somewhere over the desert, I don't know. But with the amount of drought that's going on, you would have think that after 50 years of chemtrails, they would have been able to figure out the weather by now in which we wouldn't have a drought. So pretty sure chemtrails, not really true. And then the last myth I'd like to dispel is the U.S. cow population is endangering our ozone. Okay, so if you believe that the cows that produce the methane gas that is killing our ozone, how about this? I'll hang out in a garage with like 4 cows all night. We'll close the doors, be stinky, but I'll make it through. And you hang out in a garage with your electrical car that's turned on and closed up, and we'll see who's alive in the morning. Pretty sure it'll be me and the cows, not you. I can't see the conspiracy theories. There's a strand of truth, and then they just get overthought and overthought. I can't do it, please. Now, another thing that really upsets me just as much as these outlandish conspiracy theories is people that don't take into consideration all of the things it takes to be an owner of an animal. And then once you do come to that realization that you may not be able to provide for that animal or animals, your choices of just dropping it off somewhere. It's ridiculous, inhumane, and you literally are a bad person. There's no way around that. For the people that allow their animals to breed knowing that they have no way to take care of these animals, and then it becomes an out-of-control population, and there's always an out-of-control population, especially up here in the White Mountains. So please, when you're thinking about getting a pet, or if you have a pet, we actually came across this. My lab, who's 3 years old, is allergic to everything under the sun. Everything. And we had to make that decision. Are we financially stable to be able to take care of what she needs? And it came down to it, just as any other member of my household. If something happened, we would do everything one way or another to make sure our house was safe and healthy. So that being said, I'm working more.
But the dog should be over the allergy in control pretty soon.
We hope so, yes, because my mentality is, woo. Jeez. Hi, ladies. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
You have a beautiful guest with you today. Terry, tell us who you have with us.
I have a gentleman with me.
Okay.
And his name is, we named him Scooby. Scooby came to us as a stray that someone probably dumped out there. When he came to us, he was so fat that we had to put him on a diet. So obviously he had been cared for. He wasn't out foraging in the forest.
No.
We're guessing he is a pit bull terrier mix of some sort. Very sweet guy. Scooby's really interesting. He loves puppies. He loves puppies.
Wow.
He doesn't get along really well with dogs his size or bigger. But puppies or little dogs, he loves. Who knew, right? Perhaps he lived with a little dog.
That's what I was thinking.
You know,
maybe.
And when dogs come to us as a stray or tied to our front fence or some of those things that happen, we always say, you know, leave us a note. Let us know their name. Let us help them adjust to their the new normal that is them. So that would have been just a really good thing. So Scooby is still looking for his home or a foster home. He gets pretty stressed in the shelter because I think he's probably used to sitting on a couch like he did with us before.
I think so.
Anyway, he's just he adores people. He loves kids. Right now, you know, we have critter camp.
Yes.
At the shelter, and I walked in there the other day. And there was the cutest young girl reading to him, and he was down on his bed. Just you could tell he was enthralled with the story.
That's the exciting part about all of them getting read to, but it touches our hearts more with like Scooby, because Scooby he's pre-owned, he's an older model, and Scooby just needs him a senior home.
All right.
You know? Oh, buddy, yes. And he did go out to foster for a little bit, to a wonderful foster. And they still come and walk him, but we talked them into, we're inundated with litters of everything and homeless orphans. And so they're fostering cats for us now. Kittens, yes. And so they come at least once or twice a week and walk Scooby and spend time with him. And Scooby, we did put him on a diet, but he got too skinny. And then we couldn't get weight back on him because he is the depressed one at the shelter. So anyway, but Scooby's doing pretty good. He takes glucosamine every day because his rear end's a little weak because he is, you know, he's the older vintage.
Right.
And I got to tell you, I can relate with that in the mornings getting up, you know. It's not only my rear ends, it's my legs, you know. And you keep working to support that allergy dog, and you'll relate with that soon too.
No joke.
But anyway, so we have all kinds of great pets out there for adoption.
Good boy.
And I am at the age where, yes, I was saying before the show, I love puppies, but I really sincerely love the calmer, I don't have to chase as much dogs. And yes, one of the best things about vintage models is they're also pre-trained.
Right.
So he's got all those basics down.
Yeah,
he does.
He's ready
he's
for
probably
his
not going to chew your remote or your shoes.
Right.
Oh, are you talking about? I got a young one, and I came home one day, and there's our Amazon remote, pieces of it all over the floor. My glasses tore up, and I went, oh, I forgot what it was like.
And Scoob's here probably not that much energy to even go through
He'd probably been in and out the doggy door going potty and laying right where I left him.
And he does love to ride in the car.
He does. He's a very good rider.
Yeah.
Very good.
Yeah.
So
there you go.
Well, thank you for joining us today, Mr.
welcome.
Scooby. We will hang out. But we have so much to talk about. Lots going on, ladies. It is Happy Tails month.
It is Happy Tails.
Happy Tails summer. It's Happy Tails summer.
Yes,
that's what it is.
It's been a summer, hasn't it?
Yeah.
So, So we started on July 1st. We had a building donated to us by the Pedersen Group.
Right.
And so where people can bring the donations is to that building, and it's in the Safeway, the Village Center.
Oh, yes.
In Pine Top.
Okay.
And it's unit B6. It's next to a nail salon.
Okay.
Okay.
Petties and Many. You know,
Sounds
we'll have
okay.
time for lots of that.
Yeah, right. Yeah,
So
right.
anyway,
Right next door.
you know, for the month of July, we'll accept donations Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays there.
Actually, if I can correct you, starting July 15th, I think it is, it's mid-July, we're
Yes.
doing Monday, Wednesday, and Friday.
Okay.
And then in August, it'll be Monday through Friday
Okay.
from 10 to 3. And we're going to have a lot of signage
Okay.
on that, so it will be very easy to find, and maybe Scooby can help us if he doesn't find a home prior to that, huh, Scoob?
Right. Thank you for correcting me.
You're
because
welcome.
you're the one that knows that part of it better than me. What I do know is that we're collecting donations. So, you know, our businesses and our community has always supported us with that. And so if you're a business and we haven't gotten to you yet and you want to make a donation,
Call the shelter.
Call the shelter. One of us will be happy to come and get it.
Okay.
You know,
Absolutely.
so Happy Tales is August 28th.
Yep.
Charlie Clark's at the Orchards from 10 to 4.
Correct?
Our auctioneer is you.
Yep.
So we do have a live auction, a barbecue, adoption, silent auction, blitz auctions, raffle baskets, and our summer raffle that we're selling tickets on now for, which
Oh
is
my
a
gosh,
boat.
a boat.
A boat.
A boat with a trail. Hi, Bubba. A boat with a trailer.
Uh-huh.
It seats. It has a trolling motor and a gas motor. I mean, it's ready to go fishing.
Life jackets.
Life jackets,
Yep.
exactly.
Yeah, it's $10 for the ticket.
You know, I once said that, yes, I really wanted that boat. Now that I have an allergy dog, I do not have time to go boating. So,
Well, but I don't need that boat either, but I guarantee I will be buying tickets and probably donate that boat back.
that's right. And that's one of the beautiful things that happens at the auction a lot.
Exactly. Exactly.
I've witnessed as the auctioneer, someone does win a bid
Yeah.
and then donates it right back. And then the auctioneer has to do his job all over again that he just did.
And
I've
see if he
seen
can
this.
get that same amount twice
That's
for
right.
those animals.
Yeah.
And a dessert auction. Oh my goodness.
Oh my gosh.
That is like amazing, the dessert auction.
We'll have 5 amazing desserts.
Yes.
Fat Sally, she's like
Yes,
this big.
yes,
She's not
yes.
fat at all.
Love Sally.
But she makes amazing cakes. The very dear lady who owns Classic Cookware is donating a cake. Hush Bakery
Oh,
in
nice.
Pine Top, Yummy Scrumptious, is donating a cake.
Charlie Clark's, I'm sure, with their
Clark's.
peach cobbler.
Peach
Yeah,
cobbler.
that is
oven.
always a staple
Good
at that dessert
boy.
auction. Is
So,
that.
and we'll list the next one next time because I forgot.
I know. There's too much to remember.
There
There
is
is,
so
there is.
much to remember, but volunteers, we can't do this without our
please,
volunteers.
that's good.
So please, if you haven't joined us already to volunteer, get a hold of us out at the shelter and join us. You will not be sorry. And if you haven't ever attended, you need to attend. This is the event of the year up here.
We will tell you more about Happy Tales. And of course, if you would like to be a volunteer, contact the shelter and get signed up. We'll be back in just a moment with more Paw Prints on the Mountain, brought to you by the Humane Society of the White Mountains. And welcome back to Paw Prints on the Mountain, brought to you by the Humane Society of the White Mountains. I'm your host, Mike Bosely, of course, joined by Deena Pace and Terry. Welcome. So we were discussing Happy Tales,
Yes.
and that it's coming up. We mentioned that we're always looking for volunteers. I've said it once, I'll say it again. It's always amazing the orchestration that it takes to pull off Happy Tales. And it's simply amazing how you can orchestrate that many people for one cause, and it goes just almost, at least to the public,
Right.
effortlessly.
Yes.
And that's amazing that happens year in and year out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, I keep saying last year.
I know what you
sadly,
mean. I know what you mean.
It didn't happen last year, but in 2019 and before, 110 volunteers is what it took to put on the event.
Wow.
Isn't that incredible?
That is incredible. It really is.
The time, it's not just at the event. Volunteers, have been working since January.
Right.
To orchestrate, organize, think, and then rethink, and it really is pretty incredible.
Right, absolutely. You know, and that's true. We work on this for months and months and months. So when it looks like it comes off without a hitch, there's been some hitches along the way. But you know what? Nothing's in life's worth it if you don't have a few hitches. And this is such a worth it cause.
Yes, it is.
Because it's going to continue to support animals like Scooby and all the animals that keep coming into the shelter that, you know, that are just looking for that new home. And our volunteers, like I say, we can't do it without them, but to know the feeling, you know, you guys know, you're volunteers, you know, to know that you're making a difference in these guys' lives.
Oh, yeah.
You know?
Oh, yeah.
It was like last night, it amazed me. The staff also that is there is amazing. We had a problem with a mama dog, and it was right at quitting time. And everyone had clocked out. We were just waiting to leave, and someone said, hey, we got a problem going on with Summer. She's just not breathing really good. So right away, Deborah, our vet tech, myself, and 2 other employees, Callie and Hannah, big shout out to them and everybody. But they, you know, Deborah says, do you want to stay? And I said, absolutely, we're staying until we figure out what's going on and get her comfortable. And so we did, called Doc, but we were there another 30, 45 minutes. Nobody cared. It's all about these guys. And that's why I think when our volunteers and our community and our donors see that we go that extra mile,
Right.
you know, it doesn't matter if it's midnight when we get home, you know, we're going to take care of these animals to the very best of our ability.
Yeah.
Well, I hope the board meeting does not go till midnight. Just
If
by
it
the way.
does, I just want you to know I'm with you this week. I'm working on 60 hours this week myself, and
Okay.
I'm an old gal.
And now, the Happy Tails is our largest
It is.
fundraiser of the year.
Yep.
Now we have several throughout the year, so there is an ongoing
And every day.
Every day. Okay, tell us about
Everyday
that one.
fundraiser is our Doghouse Thrift Shop.
Right.
And that's located at 3002 White Mountain Boulevard. And they're open Tuesday through Saturdays from 10 to 5. And that is a run. Everything in there is donated. So all the money comes right back every day to the shelter to support these animals. And we've got a great staff over there and the volunteers over there. Again, our volunteers are amazing. Our staffs are amazing. And they know, so every dollar that's spent there is going to these animals.
Right.
You know, and you can find things from shoes
Right.
to you know, you can find TVs, you can find camping gear. They got quite a bit of camping gear
Yes.
right now. You know, outdoor stuff. Somebody was just telling me they got this amazing deal on a raised garden bed. And I'm like, are you kidding? I missed that.
I know. Don't you hate? I hate when that happens. I really, really do.
Yes. It's
yeah.
just amazing, the donations and the effort that the team over there puts into if it needs to be cleaned up or whatever before displaying it and putting it out there for sale.
Now there are certain hours that it is okay to drop stuff off. Not
Right.
It's not a 24/7 hour drop-off bin on a corner
No.
that gets piled with a bunch of garbage.
Correct.
Which
That is correct. So it is from 10 to 4
Okay.
on Tuesday through Saturdays is when they accept the gently used donations. And they accept them back in the back.
That's 6 hours. That's a
Yeah.
quarter of the day. It's
Yeah.
pretty easy to find something to fit
Right.
in that
Exactly.
time.
Exactly.
Right. So what happens if you don't leave it then? Please hold it till
Right.
we're there.
Right.
You know, because otherwise, literally, we have cameras. I can watch the cameras on my phone. I've caught people stealing, and they've gone to jail for it, stealing through our donations.
Wow.
You know, or it can, if the weather, one day we might get rain.
Right.
Or snow, you know,
yeah,
but I mean,
never-
it gets ruined.
Yeah.
It either walks off or, you know, sometimes, or it gets ruined. And that's the really, you know, the really very gently used, or, you know, the higher dollar items that would be really desirable to somebody, so it'd make money for the animals,
Right.
but somebody else thinks that they need it. So that's why we ask you to please leave them at the barn door in the back of the store when we are there from 10 to 4. So that
And
way
yes.
they're always there.
Now, you touched on new and gently used.
Mm-hmm.
Go into that description a little more.
Okay, so new, of course, is new.
Yes.
We get things, and people that shop there know that there's things with tags on it all the time. The gently used is, and I'm going to use myself as an example, okay? I am one of these people that I could have a pair of jeans that may have a little stain or a little hole, or a t-shirt that's my absolute favorite, and it's really should not be worn. You know, I need to put it in the rag pile. So what I like to tell people is, if you wouldn't buy it, please don't donate it.
Okay.
Or you wouldn't wear it.
If you wouldn't
Or
wear it,
you wouldn't
yeah.
use it. Or if
Right.
it's missing pieces, or
Right. Sometimes they get one shoe. One shoe. Sometimes they get, say, a stereo with no plug for it. So please make sure that all the pieces are there, or the pairs, and you know that it's in working condition.
Right.
Working condition.
Yeah, and the other thing that happens with some of that, you're going to go see Mike? No, you're going to lay down. Some of that is not so gently used, right, Scooby? We end up, it cost us money because we end up throwing it away.
Or having to haul it
Or
to the
having
dump.
to haul it to the dump. So not only, so now we're not only not making money, we're losing money.
Right.
Right. So everyone knows, because last year was a crazy year. We are back to doing pickups for large items.
Okay.
And so they're doing that on Wednesdays now.
Okay.
So you call the
okay.
store at 368-2248 and make an appointment for them to come on the next Wednesday they have opened.
That's wonderful. That's
Yeah.
great to hear they're doing that.
Yeah, it was very nice, and they're thrilled to be able to start going back out and picking up the larger
Absolutely.
items that people can't get there, you know, like furniture and
Right.
you know, stuff like that. So
Well, that is great. And okay, what was the number again?
368-2248.
That's-
And some of the things they don't accept is mattresses. They don't take mattresses.
Makes sense. You can never know.
And appliances, we can't test them.
Yes. Okay.
So we've gotten burned with quite a few of that kind of stuff, taking it to the dump then. And
Yep. And
So-
then once it, like Terry said,
Cost us money.
Yep.
yeah.
Now, let's see. So we've gone over Happy Tales. Could you give us a brief overview on how this year's Critter Camp went?
Critter Camp has gone amazing. So actually, I'm so excited because the first group, the younger group, which was 6 to 9-year-olds, there was like 14 in the class.
Wow.
The biggest ever.
Yes, because usually we only go 10, 12. But we're only able to do it 2 weeks instead of 3 this year. And so she let a few more in. And but the amazing thing about this was they were all new in the first class, never attended before.
Wow.
And that's unusual because usually they come, because the second class, there was like 4 of them in there that had been there before, but then we had 10 new ones. Which is
Great.
really amazing because it's so fun to watch how excited they get over things. You know, we had Deborah Jones and a bunch of search and rescue people out. They also taught them what to do if they get lost in the woods.
Oh, wonderful.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah, she
and
does that every year.
Terry and Priya were there with therapy, and Gail and her dogs. We had hedgehogs, sugar gliders,
petting
zoo.
Oh my gosh.
The petting zoo was that was too cute.
That was so fun. We had a miniature donkey,
Yep.
a miniature horse, a chicken, 2 goats,
Was there a duck there?
no duck.
No duck.
No, duck, goose. No, none.
But you know, and the kids loved that stuff. And then there was also animal control talks to them about proper animal care, and we teach them that. They get to, if their parents sign, they actually get to watch a spay or neuter.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, they would, and you know what? The kids love that.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Very interesting.
In all the years we've been doing Critter Camp, we only once had somebody pass out.
It was Deena.
Yeah, well, it was my first day there. So. But the kids love it. They learn so much. And probably my second, or actually it's my very favorite that I touched on a little bit before, was every day the kids have reading time to the animals. And they have pads. They each have their own little pad that they sit on. And Jamie Dye is the lead volunteer teacher there, and then there's several other, Deb, Wendy, Brenda, Susan. We've had quite a few volunteers, and thanks to all of them, this happens. But they go over to the shelter and they pick their favorite dog.
Oh, wow.
Or their favorite cat, and they sit and they read to them. And years ago, one of the instructors called me and says, "We have a problem." And I said, "What's the problem?" And they said, "We've got 2 boys that can't read." I said, "What's the problem?" And they said, "The reading time." And I said, "So who's going to know they can't read? The dog?" I said, "Because really this is great for the kids. It will build their confidence in looking at a picture and making a story for the animal that they're reading to."
Right.
And I watched those kids thrive because no one was judging them. You know, they couldn't read, but that dog didn't know that. And it's so cute when they finish a page and they turn the book around and show the dog or the cat the pictures.
It's adorable.
And really and truly, all these dogs can be barking until those kids sit down and they softly start reading. And everything just gets quiet.
Wow.
I was there this week earlier, and one of the kids were reading to one of the dogs, and literally the dog was up against the front of the kennel, upside down like this, sound asleep. I'm sure dog was probably snoring. How great that they get to relax. You know, being in the shelter, as much as we love them and they love being there and they're cared for, it's stressful.
Yes.
To have that take a breath time.
Yep.
Is really special.
Yeah. You know, and the kids learn proper animal care with the pets that they may already have. And you know what? They're learning that someday they want to come and be a volunteer with the Humane Society of the White Mountains.
Right.
They want to help with these animals.
Right.
That is exactly. Hopefully those kids will take the excitement to the parents, and then that will grow and that will grow. So please, it is so very important to become a volunteer, whether you volunteer time, whether you donate to Happy Tales, or one of the many, many different ways, be a foster. There's lots of ways to become a volunteer with the Humane Society. Please visit our website, hswm.org, and come see all the lovable faces we have ready for your forever home. That's going to do it for this month. We'll see you next time here on Paw Prints on the Mountain, brought to you by the Humane Society of the White Mountains.